I didn't know anything about this spur. I literally came to Revelstoke and I was like, I'm gonna run. Did I know what that meant? No, not really, because I'd never run trails before. I come traditionally from road. Alright, welcome back to another video. We are officially done week 3 of Sinister 7 training. That's crazy for me to say, to be honest. When you're caught up in the training, it kind of take it day by day. You kind of forget about how quick it goes by. So I think we have 20 weeks left, maybe 19 total time. For a 100-miler, I'm gonna taper for 3 weeks. So I'm not saying that I'm not gonna run in those 3 weeks. I will be running in those 3 weeks, but there will be significantly less volume. So if you take 3 weeks out of 19, you're left with 16 weeks roughly, which for me personally, I do a 4-1 training block right now. What I mean by that is we have 4 weeks on. So within those 4 weeks, we're hitting targets, we're trying to better our previous week and see how much volume we can handle and stuff like that. They're big weeks. Those 4 weeks are huge weeks. They're meant to kind of improve fitness. And then the 1 week is kind of a down volume week and down intensity week, just a down week overall. The reason why we do that is we don't want the body to get injured and sort of recover every 4-week period. This methodology I learned from my coach who was coaching me on the road. Shout out Andrew if you see this. I'm still doing what we were doing. But I added that. We used to be on a 3-1, so three heavy weeks, 1 down week. So I added that 4th week last summer when I was training for Black Spur, just to see how it goes, and it's been okay. Yeah, that 4th week is a little tough, but that's the methodology we follow. So that's still what we're doing. So yeah, week 3 is done. Very excited, very happy about the outcome. We did 60K this week in 4 days, as previously stated. The breakdown was 21K on Monday, 15K on Tuesday, both flat, 15K on Wednesday in the gym. We used the treadmill, did 1,100 meters of vert, and then did 9K on Thursday. So that's some pretty high density, especially in the first 3 days, 51K. I'm very stoked about that, just because that's exactly what we need to be doing for these big races. Previously, when I was training for Black Spur last summer, I didn't know anything about this spur. I literally came to Revelstoke and I was like, I'm gonna run. Did I know what that meant? No, not really, because I'd never run trails before. I come traditionally from road. So I just hit the trail one day and I was like, damn, this is gonna be a hard training season for me. But over time you kind of adapt and you realize what you signed up for. So I knew nothing about trail leading up to the Black Spur. I kind of was learning on my own, talking with people, trying to figure it out, trying things, trying different foods. So this time I'm a little more aware of what actually goes into the prep, and that's kind of one of the points that I wanted to segue towards in this episode. When I was training for Black Spur, I was basically saying like, oh, I'm gonna max out at X kilometers, right, in my peak training, and I think my max run leading up to Black Spur was 67K in one shot. But what I realized pretty late in that training, and kind of didn't have a chance to fully test it out, is the value of back-to-back runs. So, a lot of people have asked me after Black Spur or even at the tail end of the training, like, what was your max single day run? And I would tell them, I would say, it was 67K. And I didn't know better, but as I kind of researched more into the sport, I realized that the better way of looking at somebody's ability or somebody's shape is, especially for these longer runs, I should say, is how much have they done back to back. So I had a chance to speak to the winner of Sinister 7 in 2019. Shout out Scott. Thanks for your time, man. Always happy to talk ultra. And one of the things he said was build up that back to back. So that's exactly what we've been trying to do since week 1. If you guys noticed, this week I did 21 and 15 back to back. So individually, those are still solid runs, but the value that they bring when we're talking back to back is way more significant. So my point is this: I'm going to continue to sort of build that back to back up and try as much as possible to focus on that back to back as much as it allows without obviously getting injured. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning about the sport all the time. Like I said, I only started last year. And when I do information gathering, I look for consistency. So I actually posted on Reddit as well, asking about some Sinister 7 specific details. And one of the things that was brought up was doing back-to-back days. So you have the winner of Sinister 7 telling you that back-to-back days are important, and then you have this ultra running community telling you that I would strongly suggest you have big back-to-back days. So when you hear those things, you kind of take them pretty seriously. So that's sort of the goal for this whole training, but that's something I wanted to touch on. Yeah, and I'm excited for it because now I know that this is one of the keys. Like when you figure out one of the keys to success, you kind of want to dive deep into it and try to use it to your advantage when race day comes. So super excited that we're focused on this now. For next week, we're doing 70K. I said in the last video, anticipate me adding a 5th day, which we're gonna do, but we're gonna keep that back-to-back day volume in mind. So I'm gonna add 4K to the 21. So instead of 21:15, we're gonna do 25:15, and that may not seem like a lot, but we have 16 or so weeks, excluding the taper, to train. So that's going to build up gradually, and then we'll add 6K on Friday. That'll give us 70, and that'll complete, I'll call it, the first block of real training, because we had just done 4 weeks. So next week probably will be a down week, much needed, obviously. But yeah, super pumped, and really wanted to touch on this specific topic for this video. I'm gonna try to film more of me actually running, stretching, doing strength, cooking. I haven't had as much time, and honestly, I don't want to bore you guys with road running right now because that's primarily what I'm doing because of all the snow. But again, discussion points always welcome. I really dive into this and dissect it for myself, so this is a good platform for me to kind of talk about it. So if you guys have any questions, I would gladly answer, talk about them. Yeah, if you haven't seen my other videos, I guess I can link them on the screen. You guys can check them out. You know, if you don't like this style of video, I have other videos where I talk about mountains or do trip recaps. So you guys can check those out. And yeah, looking forward. Next week's going to be huge, and I'm very excited.